Jim Harbaugh allegedly in his second in-person interview with the Atlanta Falcons today, after it is being said behind the scenes that Jim Harbaugh basically has to make up his mind on whether or not he wants to be the Chargers coach, because allegedly Pete Carroll also wants to be the Los Angeles Chargers head coach and has been petitioning or campaigning for it behind the scenes. I believe Snoop Dogg was one of the first people to report that because of their connections at USC, but also it has been legitimized by others. So this Chargers head coaching search has obviously gotten pretty loud. They've interviewed a bunch of people. Harbaugh in Atlanta, Harbaugh in LA.
What?
Seems like Harbaugh is getting the treatment that we thought maybe Bill Belichick would get.
Yep.
Which is a wild thing to kind of think about. There's now a report about the Bill Belichick momentum potentially slowing down, and the conversations about him getting interviews or allowed is maybe some agent spin to try to draw up some interest. AQ, we haven't heard really your take on this as a man who coached in the NFL and obviously played in the NFL. When Tom Brady became a free agent for the first time, I was very loud into a microphone on the internet, like, every team's going to want him in the building. Every team is going to want to be lifted and play better. Every single department gets better when Tom Brady comes in there because expectations go up. Now, there are some teams that have had that elevation with the greats in the past, whether it's here in Indy with Peyton or elsewhere. But nonetheless, if you're a struggling franchise, you're going to want Tom Brady in there. We thought the same for Bill Belichick. Allegedly, not that much interest in Bill Belichick, a lot in Harbaugh. What's your take on it? Why do you think that's the case? And how do you kind of see it unfolding?
So I have so much respect for what Bill Belichick has done, but the biggest thing that we're not really taking, obviously all we see is the body of work, right? And so same thing with Tom. The two things that they have similarities with was Tom was 43 when he became a free agent. Bill Belichick's, 71, right? So how much more time? I think that's the biggest thing that you say. Like, hey, listen, when you're rebuilding and you want to start from scratch, it's like, I need to get at least 5 years here. Are you going to get that from Bill Belichick? I don't know.
What does 77s look like? I don't think I know it.
On Bill Belichick?
I don't know what 77 looks like. I honestly don't know.
I don't either.
Looks like 37 on Bill. We saw him coming out of that little beach house.
On the ring camera.
We know that his body.
Yeah, he's got a chest as a 50-year-old.
Yeah, bingo. He's in basically the same shape as The Rock.
But as Patriot fan,
the
question is not only can he last, but it's can he do what Bill Belichick does in 2024, which is obviously getting pretty loud, seemingly by the critics that said, we have been predicting all along that nobody would want Belichick. But Harbaugh, older, same exact style seemingly, but he's had success as of late with Michigan, so he can obviously relate to the next generation. Is that what everybody's thinking?
Yeah, I don't really understand why he wouldn't. I guess like the age thing, sure, maybe, but that's the one thing I think doesn't matter. Like, he's a lifer. He's going to coach in the NFL no matter what. I think the other side of it, like, hey, if Bill comes in here, are we just firing 30 people in our front office immediately, and then he goes and does his thing, which obviously has been successful, but those are 30 people that have relationships in the building that have probably been there for a long time. So
a lot of drama.
Do you want to bring in a guy for possibly, let's just say if 5 years is the minimum or the time period, do you want to get rid of all those people for 5 years and then have to try and find all those people that you have been building? Because I assume for some of these teams,
30's a little bit much, but
15.
Yeah.
Like 10. Even with those 10?
The scouting department's then he's
30, 30 might.
Yeah,
Plus the roster.
I didn't even think about that. Probably 30
Okay,
people.
so 30. It's like, I assume Atlanta hasn't just hired 30 people where they're like, well, we can just fire them when we bring in a new coach. Like, I'm assuming they like a lot of those people. So, like, if that is the debate, whereas Harbaugh maybe is only coming in with a few of his guys, probably some players on the staff, but it's not as if he has a front office. Is there a front office to poach from at Michigan that he's, like, bringing a bunch of people with? Or?
No, and I assume Harbaugh's going to have say in the personnel, but he's not going to have to bring in the entire personnel department, which is him pretty much.
Yeah, or be the GM.
He's still pretty connected within the NFL circles as well. But another thing with Belichick, we talked about Brady, like, what has he done since Brady has left?
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? So obviously the body of work, we were all in the league while, they were dominating, so we saw what it was. But that is a question for people.
Yeah, a lot of people say, does Bill Belichick still have his fastball? Brian Callahan got hired over him.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Antonio Pierce got hired over him in Las Vegas. Yep. Tom Telesco got hired. Congrats to Tom.
Hey, attaboy, Tom.
And Antonio Pierce over there. Yeah. New head coach. Grizzled veteran GM coming together in the same division. It's wild.